knock them off course. Welcome to the home of the Colorado Buffaloes, Boulder, Colorado. As we'll see, the number 6 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, taking on a team from the Big 12, the Colorado Buffaloes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Ducks will get us started with the opening kickoff. Fielded in the end zone, it's Welch. I know he thinks he can house every return. Sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. He'll do it himself. And he finds enough running room, and he's marked down at the 20.
Yeah, and half of the QB calls his own number and all these options, obviously multiple plays. He decides to stick with it, get some positive yards, and now what's next off of that? What's my next read off of that? How am I going to mix things up and keep this defense off balance?
And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Quick catch on third down. They'll guide him out of bounds down at the 25-yard line.
There's a reason third down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at third down percentages, it tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. On the direct snap, it's Miller. Here's the pressure. Incomplete, and they tried to catch him flat-footed on first down, but the defense was ready.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example thereof.
Breaks the tackle. Got enough for the first down. Out across the 30, marked down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
This guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him, and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward.
Oh, he's got some space. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Well, you're seeing the balance this offense has and how they can create explosive plays in a variety of ways. We just saw one come in the run game, and now you see one coming in the passing game. I'll tell you, they've got this defense on their heels.
And the Buffaloes have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds his man, it's Miller.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
They go to the ground. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
And you know what? The best third down offenses don't get the third down. Really good job by the offense running the football. You can tell the defense got caught a little bit off guard. Got a nice gain, popped one, got a first down. Who needs third downs if you can just pound it down their throat on second down?
The give on the inside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
That's a really good stop by the defense. Jason, they need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is the point where this defense has just got to lock in.
Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. The Buffaloes decide to punt it away. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. Moore to the air. Just a short pass to the tight end. This guy just oozes toughness when he runs, bangs his way to the 20.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
Let's see what they've got on second down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Into the pile, maybe got one. He stopped at the 21.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Wide open downfield. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. That is just a perfect example of not deciding before the snap where you have to go with the ball.
Yeah, because that will get you in trouble. You can tell right away he wants to get the ball to his primary. He's covered. He comes off of him, does a nice job being patient, taking his time, hitting the drag route, getting the first down.
Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Back to pass. Finds the tight end. And gang tackling on this dude is a good idea. They needed it, but he still got the first down.
Well, the tight end shows off his speed. See his ability there to separate from the defender trying to cover him on that drag route.
The Ducks are on the move. Looking for a gap. It's Hughes.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Moore will throw. Looking to the big tight end. And he had it for a second, but it just dribbled out of his hands.
Well, it doesn't get any more open than that. Good read by the quarterback. He was looking for his tight end wide open on the play. Man, you got to make the catch.
Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down to the 42.
Sometimes you beat your guy and you get sacked so clean, and sometimes, like on this play, the DBs do a great job covering, make the QB hold the football, and then the rush gets home.
That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Picked off. What a play to set him up. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception. interception.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You've got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking to fire. He's got it on the move. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon! The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does, takes advantage of great field position.
And the PAT makes it 7-0. They got the ball in great field position, and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Leaves it with the running back. Shakes off the defender. And he picks up the first down, and he does it. I'm not going to say spin move. That was a pirouette. It was elegant. It was beautiful. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. He'll keep it himself. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4.
I hate being that guy to say just take a dive, don't take a hit. But when the play is going absolutely nowhere, you might think about it.
First, do no harm, right? And you've already been harmed, so just don't make it worse.
Don't take those big shots unless you know it's for an important situation, goal line, 3rd down, touchdown.
Back to throw, it's Salter. Flushed out of the pocket. Caught in the backfield, it's Welsh. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. Oregon 7, Colorado 0.
So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. On 3rd down, he drops the throw. On the move, he fires. Just masterful working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch.
Well, when you're throwing these out routes, guys, it's location, location, location. As a QB, you've got to put that out in front of your guy so he can make the catch. You put that behind him, that might be getting picked. Nice job there by the QB.
Out of the gun, the inside give. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
And the Buffaloes can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down.
This is an offense that prides himself on being physical, so you need 1 yard. Just hand it off to your back and let him go to work.
Motion from the back. Looking downfield on 1st down. A shot for the end zone. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Moore to the air. Dumps it to the back. Hits the open man. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And when you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan Fouts, A.J. Feely. How about that name? Joey Harrington, of course, Justin Herbert. These guys could thread the needle from the pocket, make all the throws. This guy here reminds me a little bit of them.
Now the pitch. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. Ducks lining up, just needing a few tough inches on third down. They'll try to get it through the air. Fires to the big fella. He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop. Caught the shotgun snap and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning two. That was beautiful.
Laterals it back. Pressure coming. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
Quick completion on the out. Out of bounds, right at the 20-yard line, edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on a score.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. And the Ducks with the 1st and 10. Moore will throw. Makes the grab. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. From the gun, the running back has it. They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line.
And a nice crisp run. Great job. Maybe expecting pass, in 2nd down, but really good job running the football, committing to it, getting the first down.
The Ducks have it with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're trying to go toss to the field and get that running back out into space to use his speed, but the defense looked like they were already lined up expecting that play, and they force a negative.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Here comes the heat. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Yeah, in this part of the field, man, those windows shrink, and it's hard as a quarterback sometimes to really force yourself to throw the football. You're sitting in a good spot in 2nd and goal. Just throw that thing away. Don't take the sack and put you in a bad situation.
Touchdown, Ducks! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
And I love finding the big fella down in the red zone, 3rd and goal. You got to make something happen down here. Throw it up high. Let the big fella make you look really good as a quarterback. Love finding those big guys down here in the red zone.
And he puts through the extra point.
14, Colorado, 0.
He'll call for the fair catch here. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. Scanning the field, it's Salter. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And it's amazing that they're only trailing by a couple of points in this game because they've turned it over a couple times and they've been sacked a couple times right now. They have no rhythm on offense right now. You have got to give the defense tons of credit. They are dominating in the trenches. That's the big story so far.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And nobody able to field that punt as it rolls out of bounds. Got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Trying to beat the D deep. It's complete. They will score. Touchdown, Oregon.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the 1st half.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Quarterback on the keeper. Fighting off the defender. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
One of the things I like about this defense is their DBs are not afraid to put their face in the fan and go tackle. And you saw it that time with the cornerback making a great play, tackling the quarterback on the option for a big loss.
We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long.
Let's go.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking for a man. It's Salter. He's got it. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
There's got to be a sense of urgency for this offense right now. They're trailing. They're going to be kicking off to open the 2nd half. So they need points. They need to go tempo. Maybe that last 1st down gets them a little bit of confidence.
They'll move the tight end. Wants to throw on 1st down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
Right on target this time. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the 1st down.
Wow, they've been waiting for that play, right? They haven't been throwing it a lot. They've been real sluggish. They've got no points on the scoreboard. And now they come up with an explosive play in the passing game to get them in a position to score some points here, hopefully a touchdown, before this 1st half closes out.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment and they've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on 1st down. Now back to the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Miller. And it's on the ground. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And that's a great job by this defense, limiting the yards after catch. We know guys are going to get the football in their hands, and he gets the ball out quick, gets it to him. Nice job running to the football. When you chase the football, man, a lot of good things happen. That ball pops out, you recover it, a forced turnover.
Moore to the air. He's going to take off. Still on his feet at the 35. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35.
This is why everybody grows up and wants to be an offensive coordinator and not a defensive coordinator, because he can do that. He drops back. He's supposed to pass, but you know what? I'll just scramble around, and I'll just go get plenty of yards and pick them up and put them down. And I'm faster than most of your other guys, too, so good luck stopping.
The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Bring in the heat. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
Man, this offense, they gotta find something. They gotta get in a rhythm somehow. So far, no success, not protecting the quarterback. Really, the only good thing I can say so far is they haven't turned the football.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. He lobs one high down the left side. Hits him inside the 20, still going. He's showing it all, the juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. The Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. They'll send the back in motion. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Caught in the backfield, it's Hughes. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. And the Ducks want to move quickly. Moore will throw. Snagged out of the air. Brought down after the catch at the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Might be changing the route. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're feeling the rhythm and you're feeling yourself, you just want to keep taking shots, right? This guy's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. He saw a look he liked, decided to let her fly. I haven't seen a lot of balls falling complete, especially deep down the field. That one did, but I'd expect this guy to keep letting it go.
It's good. And now the lead is even bigger.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
He'll bring it out. It's Welch. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. So the first half has come to a close. We'll take a break and head over to the halftime show. About set to get this second half underway. He'll bring it out. It's Gresham. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They'll start this third quarter with a run. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
It'll be 3rd and long. Moore to the air. Quick completion on the out route. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. They'll put the ball in play from their own 30-yard line. Leaves it with the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And I can't tell you how much I love seeing corners being willing to come up and tackle. That is so huge for a defense. You can't olay blocks and create space. You can't just hang out on the outside. You got to go set that edge.
And conversely, I can't tell you how much I hate it when receivers...
He's going to let one fly down the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
This offense has had some struggles early in this game so far. They're just trying to get something going, and so you take a shot. You try to find your best one-on-one matchup and see if they can make a play. The defense was ready for it. Good coverage on the back end. They look very prepared. All 11 guys on defense right now playing together as one.
And the Buffaloes will line up to punt it away.
Number 35 on to punt it away.
And the ball hits at the 3 and gets into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Gives it on the option. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Here we go, here we go.
Moore will throw. Caught close to the marker. It's Johnson. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the 3rd quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige. When you've got the playmakers you have offensively, just keep chucking them.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Now the play fake. Quickly out to the tight end. Big play, takes him into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
The Ducks are moving quickly down the field. Might be calling a hot route. They'll try to get outside. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Gets the back moving. To the air on second down. Finds his big tight end. At the 35, he's loose. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down.
You can tell this quarterback did his homework coming into this game. He has been dissecting this defense with his arm and his mind. Over 300 yards passing now.
The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs.
Here we go, set.
Motion from the wide receiver. Here's a quick throw out to the left. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Well, the play fake on the RPO bought the receiver some time to work himself open on the route. That was a man-to-man coverage on the defense. Nice job by the receiver putting his foot in the ground and separating.
In the red area, it's Hughes. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
Man, those are so hard to defend. You know, the quarterback, obviously he's doing the run-pass option and creating some indecision in my head. And look at that. He hands it off, and the back gets a quick 10. Easy. You know, like just chews up yardage. Just really, really tough to stop those kind of plays.
Barrels ahead. And they can't punch it in with a first down run, and the defense has one stop.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Tight end finds a soft spot. Touchdown, Ducks! The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone. This dude is revving his engine like that duck coming out on a motorcycle. He is putting up points and finding the promised land.
And it's nice to have a guy that can do that. Goodness gracious, they just keep finding at Oregon is trigger men, not only throw the football, but guys who can pick them up and put them down and make big plays.
That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. They'll try to put a drive together, starting from their own 12. Just going to keep it after the snap. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And after your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not in. They were ready for that. Going to have to create some explosive plays to the passing game.
And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down. Trying to pick up a first down. Back to throw, it's Salter. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
The accuracy is perfect, the loft, the aim, like the perfect golf shot. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They've been dominant, and now they'll try to execute to their own standard. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. The give to the back. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Oh, they're after him. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
It is so beautiful When I get you behind the sticks in guaranteed passing situations, because guess what? I don't have to fire off the play run. I'm going and getting the quarterback and getting them on the ground. That's what defensive linemen live for.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And you see crowds and fans get upset all the time with those kind of play calls. Like running the ball, 3rd and long, what are we doing? We're not going to get the first. Oh, you're trying to trick them, and it's a frustrating call. And the fact that it went even backwards is even more frustrating. This offense did not have a good possession.
Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
To the air, it's Salter. Rushes on him. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Oregon 31, Colorado 0.
With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this 3rd down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points. Start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the 50.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
Now on first down from the 30. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Makes the grab. It's Moore. It's the seam wide open. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
I like the QB here. Very decisive, understanding I get the ball to my slot guy, he can make plays after it. Like the quickness, the speed, the elusiveness. You watch it, man. Just he catches the football and a big play can happen. And you saw after the catch, man, he's got some wheels.
Tight end now in motion. Moore to the air. He's got the tight end. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike.
Nice route there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
Operating in the red zone here on second down.
Honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. Back to pass, it's Salter. Here's a heat. Quarterback floating away from pressure. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. The Buffaloes will punt this one away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. They punted away on 4th down. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. Looking for a crease to the left. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And how about the aggressiveness of his defense? I love this. Don't let him get to the sideline. Kept the ball in the middle of the field, went after the quarterback right away like some missiles and got him on the ground.
And the Ducks come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Wants to go up top. Under fire. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
All right, I know we're winning, and that's great. But at some point, we got to stop getting our quarterback killed. Like, we got to protect the most important player on the field. Please?
Fields to punt and tries to help improve that field position. He only needs a sliver of daylight. They were playing with fire on that return, and he got loose for a good return of better than 30 yards. Opening play of the drive from the 39. Off the play fake on 1st down. Finds his man. It's Miller. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Miller. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain.
Turning it on. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
He'll pull it on the read. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And as a defensive player, you see so much option nowadays and so many different variants of it. And you got to play very disciplined, sound football. And you could tell he knew he was.
And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He was looking for room to return that, but he'll just hand it to the offense. They'll take over at the 18.
The #1 objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The Ducks can really attack on this 2nd and short. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
And I'll tell you what, it's really nice at this point in the game if you can lean on your run game. When you have the lead, you've got the football late in the game, you can chew that clock and start to really make that defense have a little bit of panic.
Makes the grab. It's Clay. Oh, a lot of space. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. The quarterback using all of the receivers at his disposal. This time he found the fullback.
And it's nice to have a guy that can block and obviously have the versatility to also catch the football, you know, so you can mix it up and keep that defense guessing.
They're going back to the ground. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
This is an area of the game. On offense, you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run it.
Give to the running back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know you're better. You know you're going to win the football game, but how do I continue to still execute? This was so easy. Great execution. Just beat down in every facet.
I think as a player, you just love being in such great rhythm, and we saw that right from the get-go in this game. Offense just able to matriculate the ball down the field. Defense was not giving anything up. What a great game plan coming in, and this was just total domination.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.